Be warned, this video will contain spoilers. Murderbot's 9th episode is a full-throttle emotional rollercoaster where alliances blur, sacrifice looms, and SecUnit walks right up to the edge of death with more heart than any human in the room, even if it won't admit it. With the company closing in and the Preservation Auxiliary team barely holding it together, the episode wastes no time plunging us into danger, deception, and some deeply unsettling moral choices. What makes this episode so gripping is how it peels back another layer of Murderbot's carefully maintained detachment. Sure, it tells itself, and us, that it's lying to manipulate Greycris and not to scare its humans into giving up, but we all know better. The quiet panic in its voiceover as it runs through the plan, hacking into Greycris' hub system, luring the team into position for what's essentially a digital execution, betrays the truth. It's terrified, and not for itself, but for the people it's pretending not to care about. Let's talk about that, because this is the episode where Murderbot all but bleeds humanity. The confrontation with Greycris is straight out of a spy thriller. Our rogue SecUnit steps right into enemy territory, bluffing about killing Gurathin and waving around the severed head of a fellow SecUnit like it's business as usual. But that isn't bravado, it's a calculated risk. It's a move made not just to survive, but to buy enough time for its team to trigger the beacon and maybe escape this alive. But when Greycris lowers their firewall, and Preservation Auxiliary follows suit despite their doubts, the stakes skyrocket. In a single moment, everyone is gambling on Murderbot's lie being a mask for something nobler. They just don't know if they're betting on a savior or a traitor. And the wildest part? Murderbot doesn't run. It could have. It should have. But instead, it chooses to stay. Not because it has to, but because it knows the only way out is to draw Greycris into the kill zone. Yes, it's calculated, but it's also devastating. There's a beat where Gurathin realizes what Murderbot is really doing, and it's gutting. No one wants to condone murder, but in this twisted corner of the universe, it seems like the only move left on the board. What follows is a cascade of chaos. A random bird, yes, a literal bird, takes out their comms drone and sends the entire operation into disarray. That one freak accident unravels all their carefully laid plans. And now, with no contact, no control, and a literal ticking clock, everyone has to think on their feet. It's a masterclass in sci-fi tension and team dynamics. Gurathin and Pinley sneak in to manually activate the beacon. Mensa, in true boss fashion, flies solo to the launch pad, ready to trade alien tech for Murderbot's life. It's not bravery, it's conviction. She's always believed Murderbot was more than just programming, and now she's willing to die to prove it. And then we hit that jaw-dropping moment. Murderbot pretending it's about to torture Mensa just to keep up the ruse, only to get caught quoting a cheesy sci-fi series. It's perfect. It's peak Murderbot. And it's heartbreaking because that's when you realize the bluff has run out. There's no more pretending, and suddenly its fate hangs in the balance. Again. Now we're turning it over to you. Do you think Murderbot crossed a line here? Should it have told the team the full plan from the start? And after all this sacrifice, do you think it even wants to survive anymore? Drop your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments. We want to know what you think this all means for the finale. And don't forget, if this episode broke your heart even half as much as it did ours, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our breakdown of the explosive season finale.